2 years ago, Dayoung had picked Dajang up at the bus station after returning from a work trip. She'd whined in a cute way that she missed him, but he only talked about his own upcoming work trip. Dajang complained that he hadn't said he missed her, but he replied that after being married so long, saying he missed her would feel strange. In the present moment, Jiho finds out Dayoung's full name and address through an investigator, although the exact reason behind this is still unknown. When he arrives and knocks at the door, he is surprised when Xia answers, and she confirms clearly that Hong Dayoung is indeed her father. Meanwhile, Dayoung calls Dajang using his own voice and asks her to come outside so they can talk. When she arrives, he tells her honestly that he is really Dayoung. Dajang immediately assumes that Wooyoung somehow got hold of Dayoung's phone and orders him to give it back. He quickly tries to explain how he ended up in his younger body. Naturally, Dajang does not believe him, and she firmly warns him to stay away from her and her children. The next day at JBC, Woonki gives Director Moon the current rankings of the interns. Director Moon sees that either Wyumi or Dajang will be dropped, and he reminds Woonki about what he said at the beginning, to make sure Dajang quits during their trial period. At school, Xia tells Jiho about the bank book her dad gave her. Jiho says he has always known that her father is a good man. Then, when Xia waves at Dayoung, Jiho's face darkens and he growls that he hates that guy. Xia laughs at the idea that she likes Dayoung and asks why Jiho cares so much. Jiho looks at her seriously and says simply, "Because I like you." Later, Dayoung helps Dajang's mother carry in some groceries, and she insists on making braised ribs for him. Dayoung remembers how she used to do the same thing when he and Dajang were first married, and how she had once suggested that they consider each other like mother and son from then on. The memory makes him tear up, and Dajang's mom smiles and notes that he even eats just like Dayoung. Later, Dayoung finds Dukjin sitting alone at a quiet cafe. Dukjin looks sad and lost, staring down after teacher OK has just turned him down again. Seeing his friend's pain, Dayoung gently tells Dukjin not to give up and to keep trying. Dukjin listens carefully, feeling a small spark of hope. When he gets home, his mind keeps going back to teacher OK, especially her love for Iron Man. With mixed feelings swirling inside him, Dukjin picks up a hammer and starts striking the life-sized Iron Man statue he has at home. It's as if, by breaking the statue, he's trying to break through his own heartbreak. Aerin arrives at the class reunion alone. Without Dajang there to defend her, some classmates start mocking Dajang's teen pregnancy and her divorce. Hearing this, Aerin suddenly loses her patience. She angrily tells them off and storms out. Before leaving, she leaves her business card on the table, saying it's for when they face their own divorces. Instead of going home, Aerin calls Dajang and they meet for a drink. During their time together, Aerin invites Dajang to go paragliding with her. Dajang smiles and says she's always wanted to try it but feels she can't because her kids need her at home. Meanwhile, on her way home, Xia ignores a call from Jiho. She feels too embarrassed after his recent confession to talk to him. Suddenly, a few girls spot her and start making rude comments about how she rejected Jasak and call her just like her, trashy, mother. Without hesitation, Xia grabs one girl's arm and demands an apology for insulting her mother. The girl, surprised, quickly says sorry. As Xia tries to leave, a group of boys from the same school block her path. Their leader grabs her wrist tightly, but Xia stands firm and refuses to say sorry. Suddenly, Jiho jumps in with a strong flying kick that knocks the boy to the ground. Quickly, Xia takes Jiho's hand, and together they run away. They rush past Jasik and his friends. Jasik notices right away that Xia and Jiho are holding hands. He steps in front of their pursuers and warns them in a cold voice never to bother Xia or Jiho again. After running for a while, Jiho and Xia finally stop. Jiho reaches out to check Xia's wrist, but she pulls away. Thinking he has made her uncomfortable, Jiho tells her it's okay to forget his confession if that's what she wants, just to keep their friendship. But then Xia gently takes his hand again and gives him a warm, encouraging smile. They start walking home together, holding hands. Meanwhile, Dajeng and Aaron wait for a taxi. Dajeng tells Aaron that Wuyang said he was actually Dayang. Aaron tries to explain that it's true, but Dajeng thinks she's just drunk and quickly helps her into the taxi. When Dajeng gets home, she finds Dayang outside talking with Shivu. She tells Shivu firmly not to play basketball so late at night. Inside the house, Dajeng tells Shivu not to spend time with Wuyang anymore. She can't explain clearly why, but she feels it's important. Shivu quietly says that before he met Wuyang, he was lonely, bullied, and had no friends. Wuyang was the first person to be a good friend to him and even helped him get back into basketball. The next morning, Dayang skips school to help Dajeng's mother catch her bus home. He walks her to the station but then suddenly disappears. Dajeng's mother boards the bus alone, feeling a little confused. Just as the bus is about to leave, Dayang surprises her again by coming back to the bus with a piece of red bean bread, a treat he used to always give her. She smiles warmly, touched by the small but meaningful gesture. Meanwhile, Director Moon gets the final decision about which intern will not get a permanent job at JBC. Furious, he announces that Dajeng is the one who is being cut. Angry and protective, Director Moon storms to the office of the man in charge of the variety show department, the one who told producers to give Dajeng low scores. Director Moon throws a loud fit, defending Dajeng and threatening that if she's treated unfairly, none of his anchors will be allowed to host the variety shows anymore. Director Moon talks to Wonki, saying how awful he feels that Dajeng has been working so hard all this time, but he never told her how much she impressed him. He admits that he forgot people should be judged only by their work, not by anything else. He feels deep guilt over how he treated her. At the end of the day, Dajeng leaves the JBC building and sees that it's pouring rain outside. As she walks, someone bumps into her, causing her to drop her employee ID. Before she can pick it up, someone else does. It's Dayang. He tells her he came because he missed her. Dajeng laughs and says he can't be the real Dayang because the real Dayang would never say something like that. She thanks him for taking care of her and her kids but warns that if he keeps doing this, she'll start worrying about them. So, she wants to forget what happened at the party and everything he said afterward. Dayang hands her an umbrella and says softly, "You must have had a long day. It's okay. You've been doing well all along." He leaves, but Dajeng can't stop thinking about his words he used to say to her whenever she had a hard day. Jiho meets with his investigator, who has found a black box video from a car near the accident, the one involving Jihoon's brother's death. Jiho watches the footage carefully. He sees Dayang checking on his brother's car after the accident, then running back to his own company vehicle. Jiho calls Dayang and asks if they can meet to talk about why you did that. Dayang only says he's sorry. Meanwhile, after Dajeng's mom gets off the bus, she calls Dajeng to say that Wuyang saw her safely off. She tells Dajeng that Wuyang reminds her so much of Dayang, which makes Dajeng blush. Dajeng is at the shoe store picking up her shoes when an employee asks for her autograph. The employee says she became a fan because of a young man who bought the shoes and spoke about Dajang with great admiration. Dajang asks if he was in his late 30s, but the employee says no, he was a student. It's still raining when Dajang leaves the store. The rain reminds her of all the times Wooyoung treated her like Daeyoung used to. Dajang calls Daeyoung and asks where he is. She finds him standing on an overlook and calls out, "Hong Daeyoung." Angry, she tells him that he should have kept lying to her and just lived his own life instead of sticking around. She repeats his words about regretting meeting her and how she divorced him so he could be free. Tears fall as she admits that having him always nearby only made her miss him more. Daeyoung pulls her close and softly whispers, "I missed you, too." He kisses her, and this time, she kisses him back. After a moment, Daeyoung pulls away to look into her eyes. What he sees there moves him to kiss her again. Additional scene. While talking to Xia about her dad, Jiho suddenly remembers a school field day from when they were little. His mom had hurt her leg and couldn't run with him in the parent-child race. But then, Xia's dad stepped in to run with him instead, and they won the race together. When Jiho gets home, he finds a box with an old video from that day. He watches it carefully and sees Xia running the race with her dad. Then the camera turns to her dad's face, and Jiho's heart sinks when he recognizes him. It's Wooyoung, his old enemy.